All right, it's July 31st, 2012. This is Dave Bennett from MOWG-crew.com, and I want to go over a couple of really cool updates that have happened recently. Actually, a lot's happened in like the past 24 hours. So these are primarily updates for those of you who are already familiar with the system and you understand some of what's going on. All right, so if you're brand new, you're not going to understand these right away, but for those of you who are in, you're just going to woohoo it when you hear about this. It's pretty cool stuff. All right, so the first things first. When we're doing keywords, right? This is for the MOWG Toolbar version 17.2. We have a new macro in there, and that new macro is called the menu generator. Now, this is the cool thing about the menu generator. We did realize that every time we do the steps of putting in the keywords, okay, we always have to do what? We have to paste in our keywords into 3 columns and make sure they all match up, right? So once we have that done, then what? Then we have always had the pain in the neck routine of having to copy a whole list of keywords, at least 10, okay, and paste them in here into the menu, all right, underneath the root. Here, just trying to make it easier to see. Paste it, then we have to do a Control H to replace spaces with dashes. Then we have to spread them out all the way across all these vars. Well, whoops, var, and it was the var 2000 through 2000, or I'm sorry, 2001 through 2010 series. Now it's 8001 through 8010. Because now that we automated it with the menu generator, yes, that's where we're going with this, and you're going to grin. We realized that we had to make something that would work for custom runs as well. So if you're doing a custom run on a large page, which a lot of you know how to do, custom MOWG runs for higher paying clients on their websites with their website template and all that jazz, their pitch, not just regular UAP runs, then you might have a VAR 2001 or a VAR 2002. You may just have one already. So we didn't want to overwrite that. So we just set this to a much higher number so it would be almost always going to be way out of the way. You're not going to find a higher number normally when you do a run. That's just nuts, you know? So this is set to a very high number so you don't override anything. Okay, when creating these, we also realized that this is, of course, the internal links per page, and that if you're doing custom runs, you don't always have 10. You might have as few as 2. You might have as many as like 25, although that's really going overboard. I mean, how many internal links on a single page would you generally have? It wouldn't normally be that high. But we decided to make that kind of room available from 2 to 25, going all the way out. Okay, so here's how this works now. Take a look, just make a mental note that definitely a keyword column of ours. That's easy to see. Numerically, the first one would be var2. It is one of our keyword columns, so that's where we get our keywords from that we use to create the menu and therefore those internal links that are keyword optimized so that each menu item on the page corresponds to a major keyword concept so that these point to more pages that will continue the theme, you know, and so that's a very good thing. Now, here's how this goes. And it was always a pain in the neck to paste in your whole keyword list and then figure out how to split it up evenly across all these. It was always really a pain in the neck. Here's how it goes now. Watch this. Menu, pretend this is old or anything. Who cares? Just pretend I want to do it differently or I want to do new keywords. It doesn't matter what. When I hit menu generator, first thing it does is make these columns disappear completely because it's going to rebuild from scratch with your new information so it doesn't leave any stray anythings if you want to change standards here. So watch, I hit menu generator. They just disappeared. Now it's saying, what's the column I want to make the menu generator from? It's our var2, remember? Because we know that's our keywords column. I could use 201 or 204 because they're also keyword columns, but let's just get into the habit of saying var2 just so you have a mental grasp on it. And you can just always have that instant recall var2. How many results? That is the question. How many of those vars do you want? Between 2 and 25. If I put in a higher number like 26 and hit submit, it'll tell me it can't be less than 2 or greater than 25. Okay, I get that. And I'm sure that'll work with 1. I haven't tested it yet. Yeah, there we go. All right, well, for the UAP project, okay, the UAP V3, and now we have a V4. You're going to love that. That's for absolute newbies. The easiest possible steps, and it includes a testing website already on a profile. So you don't even have to go get a domain name yet. You can start working on ours and just get comfortable with it before you go and do real runs on your own websites. All right, so we need 10. Okay, that's what you need for the UAP runs. You will always put 10 because that's how the page is built. The model page that we use in that folder, okay, for V3 especially, this thing is working with 10 of those. Same with this. So whether you do subdomain runs or regular project folder runs, it's 10. Okay, so you put 10. Now hit submit. So we're saying take var2, create the whole thing with 10 columns. Boom, it's done. Now it didn't put it in here, it stuck it at the very end. But look at what you see. It created all of these, and again, I can highlight all of these for ease and double click in here on one of these lines when I see the right icon. And there you go. And it put them all in, all of them, not just the top 10 or 10, but we really would like to go further. It's just always a lot of work doing it with a lot of keywords. Now it isn't. It's a breeze. And it put them in synchronously. It went like this. There's the first keyword, the second one, the third one. By that I mean what? I mean the first keyword, the second keyword, the third one. Window washing business, window washing prices, assuming these are the keywords I wanted. This is just generic stuff for you to see. Window washing business, window washing prices. So it goes all the way across all 10 because I said 10. Then it continues again and continues again and continues again until it gets down to the very last one. Washing window blinds, right? Which is right here it left off. Okay? And that's perfect. We have a nice even spread. What if I said, I don't want 10. What if I made a mistake? On my custom run, maybe I wanted something else. Watch this. var2, 5. Submit. Boom. It's done. It recreated, this time with 5. As you can see, they go deeper. Okay? These go further down because it's got to split all those keywords up across 5, right? So these are basically twice as deep. Oh, wait a minute, it wasn't 5, it was 6 after all. Fine. Then go 6 or go 15. Submit. There you go. So it always creates perfectly. So, I mean, I can do this while I talk to you. I don't even have to go back to the var2 on the file. I can do this right here at the end and just get it right. I don't even have to think about what I did. Ain't that cool? You can do that. That shaves off what, like 5 minutes of work, you know, from each run you do. So that's very cool. And that is the upgrade for the MOWG Toolbar 17. Of course, what it means is that if you have Excel 2010, you can do this. I do not know whether this macro will work properly on Excel 2007, but I believe so because it's a very simple coded macro. It's not particularly complex, so it may work on Excel 2007. All right. And what's the other thing I want to say? Don't forget to save, you know, and then you can close. But here's the other thing. For those of you on Excel 2007, really, Excel 2010 is much more powerful, way more powerful, and you can just get a 60-day trial of it right here, completely, fully functional. Just go to Microsoft.com, hit downloads, hit Office Trials, and then choose this one in the corner down here, Office Professional 2010. Try it free, 60 days free. By then you can just buy it. You know, there's no reason why you can't. It's you've got 60 days. How could you not? Unless you weren't doing anything to earn the money. But you can do it, and it's worth it. It's really worth it. And you can install, if you're on a dual core, quad core, install the 64-bit version of it. Okay, so it's much faster than the 32-bit version. So look closely. It'll try to install the 32-bit by default just to help people who don't know better. But if you know you're on a dual core or quad core, you have a program files x86 folder, then definitely you can get that. Another way to see it, click on your start, right click on computer, hit properties. I believe it's the same even back to XP, and you can pull up that window and it'll tell you if your system type is a 64-bit operating system, and it'll tell you whether you have like a dual core or quad core. I forgot how to read that. I got 12 gig of RAM. on an i7, Intel i7. So this is like really fast, you know. And I always tell people, whenever you go get a new computer, get the best one you can possibly afford. You know, that you're the most money you're willing to spend to get that new computer, because computers deteriorate in performance almost exponentially, right? Certainly really, really fast. And so it's cheaper to get the best computer you can, the best, fastest, strongest computer with the most RAM that you can coming out the gate. And then you have the most enjoyable experience over the whole time that it's still really cool online before you feel like you really do need to upgrade again and get a new one. Okay, so that's just words of wisdom from Dr. David Bennett. All right, so there you go. There's your automated macro for you. So even if I just deleted all this, thought, oops, uh-oh, you know, still, how hard is it to rebuild? var 2, 10 for the UAP runs, submit, I'm done. That's cool, great. Now what that also means is whenever you do a new run and you put in new keywords, do not forget after you do this, just because you don't see the menu column and the other stuff there, don't forget to hit the menu generator and do it. Because if you forget, then of course all your menu items are going to come out with different names from your last project. You know, just don't forget to do it. Well, I did do it and it is there, and that's all good. All right, so there you go. That's the upgrade for the 17.2. Quick note on installation, because I know people are going to ask, what if you already have a MOWG Toolbar? Okay, and you need to install it. Here's what's going on. We do now have a MOWG Pro version 2.2. It's gone up. I'll give you guys the link and all that stuff here pretty soon. But in here, this MOWG Toolbar V17 folder with everything inside of it has the new MOWG Toolbar 17. It's still called 17. Okay, because all the programming functions inside of it are looking for that name. Okay, so it overwrites the old one. And what you need to do is make sure to have this in there. So the best way to do it is just simply this. All right, let's do it this way. We want to paste this into our program files, x86 if we have it, but first we already have one that's in there. So let's just go like this for fun and just to keep stuff in check. Let's go to where it installed, program files x86 in my case. And I might take the old one. And before you do anything, just make sure Excel is closed, right? If it's open and stuff, just close it. Make sure it's closed. Then take your old one, rename it to MOWG Toolbar V17-old or something. That way it's broken, right? It's a broken link. And so now when I open Excel, it goes, hey, I can no longer find this. Right, because I renamed it. It's a broken link now. It doesn't know where it is. So I hit OK. Now I go into File, Options, Add-ins, manage my Excel add-ins, and we do this all the time with new toolbars. This is probably not new to you unless you're brand new. And I'm going to deselect my MOWG Toolbar V17. It's going to say, hey, we can't find it anyway. Do you want to delete it from the list? Say yes, and OK, and then close it. And you'll notice it disappeared up here, right? It's gone. I took it out. That way when I open Excel, whoops, again, it doesn't even try to look for it. It's just not here. So now what do I do? Again, close Excel. Now let's get that thing. Where did I have it? I had it right. Hello. Let me get that. Okay, copy the whole folder, MOWG Toolbar V17. Okay, go back to my program files, x86 in my case, and paste it in. Boom. Now I have one. Okay, it's got the right name, everything's got the right name, all the steps are in there and all that stuff. Okay, and I do believe I got the updated sequential steps in here, which include about running that note. Yeah, hit header generator to produce everything. Okay, now we just need to re-add it to Excel. Open Excel, File, Options, Add-ins, Manage Excel Add-ins, Browse, because it's not in the list yet. We need to get it. So let's browse and go there. Program Files x86, MOWG Toolbar V17, wherever yours is, and then just that one right there, the one it shows you. Boom. And hit OK. Now, before you do anything, notice it's there, but don't even hit it yet. You want it to absolutely stick. So close Excel first. That way it knows you're not just attaching it for one thing you're working on. You want it to stick. Now when I open it, it should be there, and it is. And you'll see that appear. And there you go. That'll save you like 5 minutes. It'll shave like 5 minutes off every run you do because you don't have to think about it anymore. Just a lot less stress, a lot less effort. Okay, that's it for the MOWG Toolbar 17.2. And so now I'm going to talk about where we're at right now with the MOWG Pro version 2.5 is what it's being called right now. And it doesn't have everything in it that we want. That's going to be another week out or so. For those of you who know, my MOWG Pro programmer is one of the top guys on the Bing project at Microsoft. And when they launched their Office 365 version, it wound up, they had such a flood of glitch feedback that they had to pull people from different departments, including my guy, in order to put them on fixing all those glitches. And he's been stuck very much on that thing. I give him a call on a Sunday night at 10:30 p.m. He's at the office working on the glitches. Drives me nuts. So this is why we haven't gotten all the functions in that we want, but I'll just go over these things anyway here in the next video about that, just so I can keep these things separate. Whoops, I don't need to save anything. Okay, I'll break off this one and do that, and we'll talk about the upgrades that do exist now. Okay.